Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. And I'm very sorry to make this video in these differing surroundings, but I hope you can forgive me. I hadn't planned on making a video today, but the Criterion Collection just made its announcement on its website regarding its planned releases for November 2020. And so I had to make a video and just share with you my initial thoughts about this set of releases. So I hope you don't mind. You can check out the Criterion Collection website for more information about this. It is a fascinating lineup. So we have, just to give you a sense here, first we have on November 10th the film Girlfriends, Claudia Weil. And then on November 17th, we have Moonstruck, the Norman Jewison film with Cher. And we have Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai from Jim Jarmusch. So those two are for November 17th. And then on November 24th, we have two releases planned. First is Essential Fellini, and the next is the Martin Scorsese film called The Irishman. So that is the planned schedule for November. So let me just mention two things off the bat here. First of all, as of now, according to the website, all of the cover art is made available. Images for the cover art are made available, except for the film Moonstruck. It indicates box art coming soon. So we should check back to this website periodically for any indications of box art. So as of now, there isn't any. Now, this announcement is August 19th where I am, August 18th for people in North America. And so usually the announcements fall on or around the 15th. And I think the 15th fell on a weekend, so people were expecting it on the following Monday perhaps, but it didn't come. So there was a day or two of a delay, or a delay when people were reasonably anticipating the announcement. And so my hunch, although I can't verify this of course, is perhaps it had to do with the fact that the artwork for Moonstruck wasn't ready, and rather than cause any further delays, I think Criterion decided just to make its announcement now and just have the Moonstruck cover art be released and announced sometime later. So that's my general hunch about that. So, but we should be okay with that, because there's still enough time between now and November for this cover art. But let's just keep a close eye on the website for any further updates about that. Also, I should point out that November is the release month for the box set of Essential Fellini. This is the works of Federico Fellini. Now, I have spoken about this in a separate video, my reactions to the announcement regarding Essential Fellini. So if you're interested, please feel free to check out that video. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And so for this video, I will focus on the other releases that are planned here. So first of all is the film Girlfriends, Claudia Weil film. Now, this is a huge surprise for me. I was not expecting this announcement for a physical media release of this very interesting, great, earnest, honest portrayal of 1970s city life, and the journey with regard to the changing dynamics of relationships and friendships, and also one's own self-worth and self-identity in not just a professional sphere but also an emotional one. It's a really earnestly, emotionally moving, poignant work, and I'm so glad it's coming to the Criterion Collection. However, once again, I must confess to being very pleasantly surprised by this, but really pleasantly surprised. I'll underline the word pleasantly. So this is something I'm actually looking forward to very much indeed. Spine number 1055, there are a number of very interesting special edition features listed, so you can take a look at the website for that. If I could just point out a few things that seem to pop out. There are some short film works by Weil that are also being included. And so Joyce at 34 and Commuters. Now, I admit I have not seen these short works, and so I've seen Girlfriends, but I haven't seen these short works, and so this will be a really great learning tool, first time watch for me. Once again, the film is quite captivating, and I'm looking forward to the reaction of people who might be seeing this film for the first time, and hopefully there will be a lot of great discussions that will come of it. So, but this is the film Girlfriends. Next is the Norman Jewison film, which is Moonstruck. This is also a surprise for me. I wasn't expecting this film to be released by Criterion, so another pleasant surprise. I remember seeing this when it was initially released back in the late 80s, 1987, yes, and so it was kind of an enchanting, charming work, and I admit when I was very young at the time I didn't quite understand all the goings-on of the film, but when I caught up with the film again several years later when I was a little bit older, I still found it to be quite charming and very funny and very clever. So it's a nice welcome, again, surprise to the Criterion collection. Very interesting indeed. And looking at the special features, I should note that there seem to be a lot of, not a lot, but a few new special features, including the Blu-ray release, which is based off of a new digital restoration in 4K plus DTS Master 5.1 surround sound as the audio. So that should be very interesting to check out. But then there are also appearing to be a lot of features carried over from past releases or currently already existing special features, including an audio commentary from 1998. So this should be very interesting indeed. Once again, this is Moonstruck for spine number 1056, and box art coming soon. So let's again keep checking back with the Criterion website for any updates regarding the cover art. Just thinking right now, I'm not an artist, but knowing the film, knowing the themes of the film and the characters and how the story plays itself out, I think there are a lot of possibilities in terms of the potential artwork and where it could go. So this should be something very interesting to check out. So let's just, once again, if you hear any updates about what the artwork is, please let me know. I will certainly do my best to check it out as well. But in the meantime, we have this film, spine number 1056, Moonstruck. Then also on the same date, we have the film Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, 1057, spine number 1057. Jim Jarmusch's very fascinating, brilliant, very eclectic, quite tonally brilliant work. And I say that because I think it's a film that has a very a wonderfully potent storyline that is focusing on characters. In fact, the characterizations of the people that inhabit this world form the basis of the story. And so, but it's also a sort of a thriller, but it's also a meditative film. There are moments of kind of gravity, human, maybe of a human scale, but then there are also moments of levity and wit and charm. And so I love this balance of feelings and tones mixed in a way that I think Jim Jarmusch does so effortlessly as the great cinematic artist that he is. And so this is a wonderful addition to the Criterion collection. And as we know, Criterion seems to have a really good relationship with Jarmusch, or at least his works. And so we've seen a number of Jarmusch films already released by Criterion on physical media. This is yet another example. And so hopefully this is yet another sign of more films to come. But in the meantime, we have Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, plus others. So well done, Criterion. I should say also that this is not necessarily a surprise because, as some of you may recall, about a month or so ago, Criterion made an announcement through social media, through its newsletter and through other social media outlets, asking people to send in questions for a planned Q&A with Jim Jarmusch that would be part of the supplements package for its future planned release of Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai. And indeed, if we look at the special edition features listed on the website, we see new Q&A with Jarmusch in which he responds to questions sent in by fans. So this is a feature that we have seen in past Criterion releases of his films. So this is nice to see that tradition being continued on. So this is to say, therefore, that this is not necessarily a surprise announcement, but it's nice to see this announcement come this early. I was actually expecting it to be maybe a little bit later, but to have it this early, I think, is really wonderful. So just great stuff, great stuff indeed. And then you, if you're interested, please take a look at the special edition features. There seem to be a lot of new ones. That Q&A is of course among those. There are also this is also a new 4K digital transfer basis with 5.1 surround sound DTS, so wonderful. And then also an option for the isolated music score, plus some carryover supplements from earlier releases, and more. There's a more exclamation point, so we can expect further announcements for supplements, hopefully. So let's, for many reasons, let's keep an eye out for this. Should be very interesting stuff. Spine number 1057, Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai. I should say also in passing that I did see this in the theater when it was first released, and this was around the time when I was beginning to explore more of Jarmusch's films, and so it was such a surprise for me, because I was expecting it to go in certain ways, but actually went in completely different directions, much to my great surprise and enjoyment. And the way it turns and goes here and there, it still also felt very natural and very organic. And therefore, I have a really I have warm recollections of this film, very much so. So this is going to be something that I'm looking forward to personally when it arrives in November. Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai. And then we have on November 24th the Essential Fellini box set, which I've spoken about in another video. And then also spine number 1058, the Martin Scorsese film, The Irishman from 2019. This is one that I think a lot of people have been waiting for. Of course, Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Al Pacino, and so it's a really quite significant work in the context of the filmography of Martin Scorsese. It's also wonderful because this is a Netflix film, and so I think for a lot of people, we were expecting this, right? Because several months back, if you recall, there was a news release made, or there were some stories that were announced in the official presses about this film being planned for release by Criterion, among others. And so then the question was when it would be released. And so I think over the course of many months, people, myself included, were anticipating, oh, will it be released this month? Will it be released next month, etc. And so now here it is in November, again, also on the same date as the planned release for the Essential Fellini box set from Criterion. So November 24th, 2020 is shaping up to be a very eventful date in Criterion's release history indeed. So well done, Criterion. Well done indeed. Now, just a word about this film too is that this is a film that is still very fresh and very new for a lot of people, including myself. And so I think it's a very sprawling epic, on the one hand, dealing with the effects of history and time on the soul, right, on the one hand, but then on the other hand, it is very quiet and methodical and very meditative, and therefore it's very personal and intimate, and so it has moments of the epic and also has moments of the quiet and intimate. And I think this combination but made by Martin Scorsese and company provides for a really just a show-stopping work, or potentially so anyway. And we will see how time will affect this work by Martin Scorsese and going forward, because it's still a very fresh film, of course, but thanks to people like Criterion, or the great team at Criterion, of course, this planned release for November will hopefully be another way in which I and many other people will be able to further explore this film and try to find new discoveries about it when watching it and rewatching it again. The Irishman, a very fascinating work in the context of Martin Scorsese's filmography, and also a very big deal, of course, because of its significance in terms of Criterion and Netflix. So this is the release for November, Spine number 1058. Very exciting indeed. It says new 4K digital master with Dolby Atmos soundtrack. So that should be welcome news, especially for those who are very much keen on having audio options made available. And then there are new documentaries and roundtable discussions and video essays included here, including a video essay with Farron Smith-Nemi. So that should be wonderful indeed. This is going to be a very interesting one, and I anticipate it being a very popular or potentially popular release from Criterion because of the popularity of Martin Scorsese, and also the popularity of this film, and also the Netflix film being made available in a physical media release like this. So I'm anticipating this to be a very popular release indeed. Again, coupled with the same-day release of Essential Fellini, I find, wow, what a great way to end the month of November, right? Wow. And so, in conclusion, with this announcement for November releases, including the announcement for the Fellini box set, I'm very, very impressed. I think for a number of reasons. I was again, pleasantly surprised with Girlfriends and Moonstruck. Very, very pleasantly surprised, and I'm very happy about that. Ghost Dog and The Irishman, and also Essential Fellini, were ones that we were anticipating, of course, based on past news stories, but it was just a question of when. But now we get our answer. So this is really great. I should point out a few things. I do note that not all of the releases seem to have commentary tracks, and where there are commentary tracks, there aren't any new commentary tracks. They seem to be carried over from past releases, if there are any. And so that seems to be a kind of trend that we seem to be seeing in this year of 2020. The use of already existing commentary tracks versus creating new ones. And I'm not sure what that means exactly, if it means anything at all, but just something to keep in mind when we go forward with our exploration of Criterion releases, of course. Another thing we should keep in mind, too, is that we have to remember that there are other planned releases, or actually not planned, there are other rumored releases of other films that have been rumored. So I think the one that I was expecting, to be perfectly honest, I was expecting Memories of Murder to be released, or to plan to be released for November, again, to coincide with the Bong Joon-ho film Parasite, which is planned for October. So I was thinking maybe it would be in November, but it's not here. But that's okay. That's okay, because I think the lineup that we have is great. And maybe that means that we might see something like Memories of Murder for December. Who knows? We'll have to wait about a month from now for that announcement, of course. But I look forward to that very much, if and when it does arrive. Also, I did mention this before, but the Essential Fellini box set at the end of November is seeming to be fulfilling the prophecy, if you will, of the New Year's clue earlier in the year that seemed to be indicating 4 box sets. So far we have gotten 3 of the 4, Varda, Bruce Lee, and Fellini. And the 4th, of course, being Wong Kar-wai. That's the most popular interpretation of that clue, and I subscribe to that interpretation 100%. And plus, it has been rumored, heavily rumored, that Wong Kar-wai box set will be coming. And also, it seems like there are rumors that the Wong Kar-wai set will might indeed be coming in December. So let us wait with great anticipation, those of us who are Wong Kar-wai film fans, for that December announcement next month, and hopefully the Wong Kar-wai set will be included there. Fingers crossed on that. But in the meantime, of course, what we have here in November is yet another continuation, I think, of the real greatness of Criterion. I didn't talk too much about the artwork that is mentioned. I'm not sure how much the people are reacting to the artwork. Maybe people like the artwork here, maybe are finding it a little bit maybe so-so or underwhelming there. I'm not sure. Again, that's your call. I find that I tend to be very a fan of varying types of artwork, and if for me, if it seems to capture what is or could be said to be the essence of a film, or one of the essences of the film, then I'm very happy indeed. And I think that of all the artwork that's featured here, I think they all seem to be capturing the essence of what the film is about, at least from my point of view, except for Moonstruck, of course, because as I say, as of now, that artwork is not available, but we'll have to wait and see going forward what that is. But I'm very pleased with what we have in terms of artwork images so far. So, that is all to say that this is very interesting and exciting in many ways, and bravo to Criterion for being able to do this. To have this really great dynamic lineup for us, and to keep doing this and to surprise us, and still be able to surprise us even during these admittedly very tough times. So well done to Criterion. I'm very impressed as always, and I know many people will be very happy with these releases. I sure am, and I can't wait. When these films are being released, starting with Claudia Wilde's film Girlfriends, which is one that I mentioned I'm particularly excited about. So, yes, this is going to be a great November. So what do you think, my friends? Please feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. As always, I'd love to hear what it is you have to say. Okay, so that's it for now, and so until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and well, and please keep on watching a lot of great movies. Thank you so much again for your time, my friends, and cheers.